Good morning. Tashanghao, guten Morgen, buenos dias, buongiorno, dobro utro. Let's meditate, okay? Okay. Okay, thank you. Yeah, good. Clear your throat. Turn off your phone. Stand. Please relax your fingers. Pull in your stomach just a little bit. Relax your mouth. Relax your eyelids. Try to release all the tension in your forehead. And your hands. Bring your chest out just a little bit. Little bit smile. And then please come to your breath. Today, let's just focus on long exhales rather than counting. So just long, relaxing exhales. then please ask your root teacher, heart teacher, to come and sit with you. And it should be very personal and pleasant. They are, I think, rather than trying to feel some sort of official respect for them, maybe just try to reach a feeling of affection, mutual affection. Like old friends, you've been through many things with your heart teacher, good times, bad times, and they're just like a old pair of jeans now, and comfortable. And there's a nice fragrance from them, like summer day or something like that. Then in your mind, just praise them for something beautiful about how they act or how they treat people. Then offer them a small gift. I think it would be nice to offer a single, simple, good thought that you had yesterday, during the whole day. Just a small but sincere, good thought you had, maybe about somebody else. Then open up and be honest about something you've done recently that wasn't very nice, some small thing. Then ask your teacher to teach you. perhaps through the people who are here during this retreat. Please teach me through the words and actions of the people around me for this week. And please stay with me. Don't leave. And not just this life, but my future lives. Wherever I go after this. I'd like you to think about the activities you did last week at work and at home. You had certain jobs to do at work. You are supposed to finish certain things. You have to accomplish certain things. Think about some of them. And at home, you have jobs to do around the house or apartment with your family. Just think about 2 or 3 of what you did last week. I think for myself, for example, I was working in my garden a lot because it's time of year to do a lot of work in the garden. Everything's just waking up. And at work, as usual, I was trying to do fundraising or get support for projects. So for me, I can say, last week I was trying to make my garden beautiful. And I was trying to make sure that we had enough funds to do different projects. Then think about the steps you took to get what you wanted. In my case, I ordered some special fertilizer on Amazon. And I pulled out weeds around the house, outside. And I tried to write a contract or an agreement to help fund some of our projects. then try to think whether those actions worked. Did they work? In my case, did the garden respond? Did more beautiful flowers come? Does it look like the sponsors will help? Did the actions work that you took last week? Then you can please ask your teacher to come to your heart. You know what to do. Do it slowly. Ask them to stay inside of you and influence your thoughts and words, actions today. Then come to your breath, 3 long exhales. Don't open your eyes yet, don't move yet. Okay, now you can open your eyes. Take a stretch. So we just did meditation number 8, page 4. And a lot of the meditations are following the refuge vows. So we'll be talking about the refuge vows during the Lamrim, in this Lamrim. And what you'll find, the point of this meditation is, are you taking refuge during your normal life, every day? And a way to judge that, the temperature, a ruler for judging that is, how do you think things work, you see? And I don't know, the English word work is very interesting, you know, like, oh, this aspirin doesn't work. Or, you know, this fertilizer doesn't work. Or this medicine doesn't work, right? We say work. And really, I think it's the most valuable thing you can learn in these classes. In all these Lamrim retreats, 25 retreats, the most valuable thing maybe you can learn is about how things work, because life is about trying to make things happen. Your whole life is spent trying to get what you want, trying to make things happen. You want your partner to be sweet, you want your garden to grow beautiful, you want your work to be successful. And you always have a choice. You can take refuge, or you can use self-existent methods. Okay, you can marry the first husband who doesn't exist. Okay, you can spend your whole life trying to make things happen mechanically and not through taking refuge. You see. So really, maybe this meditation is the most important one. So in my example, Pachi from Guadalajara, who lives in Costa Rica, Dominican, yeah. He sent me 2 bags of special fertilizer called biochar. He works for this company or something. And then I put it on my roses, and they like double in like 1 month. It was weird. It was supernatural. And they got all nice and healthy and deep red leaves, and you know. And so my human reaction is to go on Amazon, and I bought 6 bags more. And it was a lot of money. I sent a bag to Rob, because he has a garden, and I thought he and his wife would appreciate it. By the way, there's one person in the room who guided Diamond Mountain through some very hard times and helped us grow for many years, and is still keeping all the accounts perfectly and honestly, and keeps us legal. And I'd like to give Rob a hand. Thank you. So I put the stuff all over my garden, and everything exploded, you know. Everything's growing. Beautiful flowers. And some of them are called volunteers. You know what a volunteer is? It's where the plants flower they plant themselves around your garden. And volunteers are going crazy. And so then, because I'm a human being in the desire realm, samsara, I buy more biochar, fertilizer. You see, but where did the beauty really come from? Patience, okay, around me, trying hard not to get angry. So really, if I was taking refuge, if I understood taking refuge to make my garden grow better, I would think of all the people who irritate me and try to feel more patient towards them. And then buy the biochar. You see, It's still okay to buy the fertilizer. But whether it works or not depends on taking refuge, okay? So people who have gardens, you know, it's like unpredictable. You plant stuff, you water it properly, you fertilize it properly, it grows, and then some raccoon eats it. You know? You know, why does that happen? You did everything right, mechanically, right? But you didn't make the karma. You didn't plant the seeds. You see? So, this meditation is maybe the most important one, and it's called Don't Try Other Things. You see, it's what percent of what you did last week was done with a knowledge of refuge, or what percent was done with the old viewpoint? Okay, what's the old viewpoint? If I put enough fertilizer on it, me and Nick were discussing what to spray on the leaves of hollyhocks. They get this yellow, does yours get this yellow fungus on them, right? So we're like, he's using, I'm using neem oil from India. He's using jalapeno juice or something. And and then suddenly I realized, you know, it doesn't matter. Just think of someone that you're not so happy about and try to reconcile with them. And then the fungus will go away, right? Maybe you don't have to put anything on it. You see what I mean? So I think number 8, meditation number 8, which is part of the first refuge vow. What's the first refuge vow? Yeah, don't take worldly refuge. Okay, once you've taken refuge in the Buddha, jewel, don't take worldly refuge. And it doesn't really mean you can't respect Christian God or something like that. It doesn't mean things like that. It doesn't mean things like that. It means, do you trust the biochar fertilizer, or do you trust your patience? You see what I mean? Okay? And we'll talk more about that later, you know. But it's the fundamental mistake that causes the wheel of life. It's the first link, is to trust the fertilizer. You see? That's the blind man, is to trust the fertilizer. And for my projects, right, I was like sweating over some part of a contract, you know, like how do I make this work, you know. And then suddenly I had this extraordinary breakthrough, you know. Something weird happened, like supernatural. And then I was thinking, oh, I was so stupid to worry about it. You know, what made it happen was sharing Dharma. You see what I mean? The seeds from sharing Dharma created some ancient text that saved my ass in the project, you know, right? Yuense, Master Yuense, and it's like that, okay? So the 3 days, if you're going to meditate for 3 days, if it's me, I will work on meditation number 8 a lot, okay? Like, where are things really coming from, you know? How can I get the things I want? You know, I want my husband to act a certain way. You know, I want my kids to act a certain way. I want my projects to succeed. I want my garden to be beautiful, you know. And so, the DCI thing, the 4 steps, right? There's a joke in DCI. You can either pay $3,300 and come to the DCI teacher training in June. June? Or if you want to, you can just learn to do this with your hand. And then you're a DCI teacher, you know. Somebody says, Geshe Michael, you know, I don't know how to do something, fix my problem with my husband. I go, you know, oh, I don't know how to make more money. I had this health problem over here. Where? Over here? Use the 4 steps. Plant a seed. Vasabandhu. Right? Decide what you want. Find somebody else who wants it. Help them get it. Do meditation before you sleep to make those seeds grow faster. And so that's taking refuge. That equals taking refuge. What is taking refuge? 4 steps. Okay? It's just the 4 steps. And 2 of the refuges are people, and one of them is an idea. Okay? Got it? The first one is a person. You go to Buddha, you respect Buddha, you make offerings. Be thankful. Say thank you to Buddha. Gratitude, right? I don't like this offerings. I don't like the word offering so much. I think it should be like just thank you notes. Like flowers that are thank yous. That's the whole purpose of offering, is, oh, you gave me something, thank you. That's the first kind of taking refuge. It's basically just show your gratitude to Buddha. Thank you. Okay? Put a flower on the altar. Okay? The third one is what we talked about, Elisabetta. Find wise friends and hang around them. Okay? That's Sangha. Surround yourself with wise people, good people, okay? Who understand seeds. Like I was with, what's her name? Katie's mom, Janice. And we were trying to figure out, I forget what fundraising thing, and she's like, in the middle of this long, complicated conversation, she says, well, why don't we just help someone else with their fundraising? I'm like, no, we gotta get on it, And then I'm like, oh, yeah, you're right. Okay, so, surround yourself with people who think that way, who will correct you, who will correct Geshe Michael. Say, Geshe-la, that's not gonna necessarily work. You should help someone else raise money. You know what I mean? Something like that. Okay, that's Sangha. So first and third are people, but the second one is an idea. Dharma is a mindset, worldview, right? It's to approach things, understanding that you make things happen by making them happen for other people. Okay, got it? So really, meditation 8 is a examination during your 3 days of silence of your own life, and see, where do you put your trust? Where do you put your hope? The textbook definition of refuge is rewa chulwa. It means very rare word, and it means put all your hopes in something. Put all your trust in something. Do you put all your trust in biochar fertilizer? Or do you put all your trust in being patient with the people who irritate you, or situations that irritate you? How do you make your flowers grow around your house? Okay, and so that's probably the most important meditation, and it's the best way to spend your 3 days. Okay, examine your life, see what you're up to, what are you trying to achieve in your life, and are you taking refuge, which means are you using the 4 steps or not? Okay. And I don't know why, but personally I have a resistance to it. It's easier to buy fertilizer. I don't know why I have this, I'm like, yeah, I know, Janice, I know we should help someone else, I know, but what are we going to do, And, I don't know why, I don't want to surrender to this idea. I just want to order something on Amazon, So anyway, okay, meditation number 9. So before your 3-day retreat, I'm going to spend a lot of time on the meditations because You have to do them. Okay? And then we'll cover the same points in the book. So I like it when the book says the same thing I said in some complicated Tibetan sentence. And you have faith in it, okay? I hope. Okay, number 9. Meditation number 9, which we don't have to meditate on, you can do it yourself. But there's a famous story in the Lam Rim, which we will read together. And the abbot of the monastery, in my monastery, when all the monks are together, it's 3,000 monks. Huge. Sera Jay Sera Me Bo. Then in front there'll be this abbot, this big guy, very wise and they have a lot of power. There's no checks and balances in the monastery. What the abbot says happens, and there's some pretty severe punishments can be given and things like that, So people respect the abbot, and people live in fear of the abbot. And they try to influence the abbot. So there's a story that 2 monks were sitting together, and one of them had the ability to read people's minds. And the abbot was leading a very major ceremony, like a Tara ceremony or something. And the one monk is going like, then he turns to the monk next to him, he says, you want to know something funny? He says, what? He says, our abbot sitting up there, yeah? He ain't a Buddhist. He's not a Buddhist. He said, what are you talking about? You say something like that, you're going to get whipped, You don't say things like that, And he says, no, he's not a Buddhist. Oh, why? He never took refuge. He's like using biochar fertilizer. Understand? Okay, that was a very famous conversation. The abbot believes in mechanical things and not in seeds. You see? The abbot tries to make more money by working harder, or buying more things, or selling more things, or doing more advertising, or The abbot doesn't understand that the way to make more money is to help someone else make money. You see? So the abbot's not taking refuge in that worldview. So the abbot is not a Buddhist. Okay? And we talked about the opposite. What's that? What's the opposite of that? Yeah, you can teach a group of 1,000 business people, and I have rednecks from Florida, architect conference, 1,000 architects, hospital architects, okay? Redneck in English means, in Tibet they call green brain, but it's the same thing. Leba Jungle, it means very conservative. Like, they don't want to help any foreign countries, or, they just want America to be strong, and they don't want to help anybody. And they asked me to give a talk. And at that time in the American Congress, there was a vote to sell an oil company to China or not, And, of course, they're very redneck, conservative, so they all said, I asked them at the beginning of the talk, and it was in like a football stadium, because each one wanted his own desk, full-size desk. I couldn't see the people at the back. It was too far away. And they each had this big desk, And so I asked them, do you think America should sell this oil company to China? And they're all like, no. Then I taught them slowly the pen and the 4 steps, very slowly. I didn't say anything about oil companies. And I talked for like 2 hours. And then finally, at the end, I said, so let's talk about energy supplies for America. How can we guarantee energy supplies for America? They're like, number 1, energy supplies for America. Be strong, America. What's number 2? Yeah, just find another country that needs. What's number 3? We'll help them get the energy supplies. And then be happy about it? And then suddenly they all started like smiling and crying, and they're like, oh, that's so nice, that's so beautiful, that feels so good, that feels so correct. They came up, all these people came up, they were like, give me 5, man, give me 5. Oh yeah, let's sell the oil company, you know. And in that moment, that 1,000 redneck architects became Buddhists because they took refuge. Got it? So the opposite is true. Sometimes the Buddhists are not Buddhists, and sometimes the non-Buddhists are Buddhists. Got it? That's meditation number 9. Okay. So you have to think about, you know, I think most of us are Buddhist about 20% of the time. You know, we make our garden beautiful by being patient about 10% of the time, and then 90% of the time we're digging and pulling weeds and putting fertilizer and things like that. Okay? All right? Do you still have to, if you plant the seeds, do you still have to dig the weeds and put the fertilizer? Mostly. Later you can do miracles. We'll talk about it. Okay? But you still have to take the aspirin. Okay? Whether it works or not is how much you help someone else, okay? So you see where DCI is tying into Lamrim, and it's always going to be that way. Nothing in DCI didn't come from Buddhist scriptures. And in the DCI manuals in the back, where nobody reads it, is where everything came from, okay? All right. I want to talk about meditation number 10, okay? We have to do 27 before you start your retreat. Meditation number 10 is called Earth, the Foundation, and the Inner Essence. Refuge and Commitments. Keeping the refuge vows, which we will cover, but the first one is what I just said, okay? Really, the first refuge vow is make your garden grow by patience and not by biochar fertilizer, okay? Or maybe both. Okay? That viewpoint, or that worldview, that taking refuge, is required for all further Buddhist practices by tradition, okay? You have to take refuge before you can take bodhisattva vows, before you can take layman's vows, before you can take novice vows, before you can take medium nun vows, before you can take full nun vows or full monk's vows. The 8 vows, right? Pratimoksha. They all depend on refuge vows. If you don't take refuge vows, you can't take the rest. Okay? So in the scriptures, taking refuge, those simple vows, is considered like the earth. And then all the trees, all the flowers, everything that grows out of the earth comes from that. And then Pabongko Rinpoche makes a big deal about, you know, I planted iris bulbs, okay? And they grow in in my house, they grow in 2 colors, okay? A pale yellow and a pale purple. Very beautiful, very stunning. I'll show you a photo later. I just had to take a photo of them. They're so beautiful. And the dirt where I live is 90% rocks. It's just like Ireland. Right, Mr. Dunn? It's terrible, you know. I take the rocks out of a few square feet and the ground drops like 6 inches, you know, and it's terrible. The ground is hopeless. It takes about 3 hours to plant a rose because To dig a little hole, just to pull out all the rocks is impossible, you know. Then I plant these bulbs, then the iris grows, and these colors come out. And I'm looking at the colors, I'm thinking, how did that come out of my rocks? You know, how did the plant suck the right chemicals out of the rocks to make these colors? Like it's like weird. You know, there's no yellow or purple in the dirt. It's terrible color. It's like brown, black, and dirt, dust. And then somehow this stupid bulb sucks out only the yellow from the ground, only the purple, and then puts it all into the flower. But only in the flower, not in the plant. It's weird. It just seems weird to me, okay? Pabonka says, refuge is the same, okay? You take good refuge, you understand taking refuge, then all the other Buddhist practice produces beautiful colors. Got it? Like everything, your tantra practice, you know, deep mystical things, deep meditation, you know, difficult practices, they all come from refuge. Refuge is the chemical that makes the yellow flower, okay? It's in the earth, so it's the foundation. So that's why I put, you know, it's the same with fruits. I put an apple tree here in the picture, and whether the rest of your Buddhist practice is successful depends on whether you take refuge well. It's the soil. I call it dirt, and then V says, no, it's soil. Kat used to tell me that. Don't call it dirt, Geshe Michael. So you do the same thing. Okay? So it's the foundation. Okay? Refuge is the foundation. So during that meditation, when you do it, you can think of all your practice, your meditation practice, your yoga practice, your study, and you can try to tie it into your refuge. You know, if your refuge is good, your yoga will be good, your meditation will be good, and your study will be good, and your service of other people will be good. And if your refuge is not strong, if the earth is weak, it won't be good. I have to tell you bad news about my poop tree, bird poop tree. Do you know about my bird poop tree?
Sunflower.
Okay, I gotta tell you about the bird poop tree. The DCI people know. People ask me, why do gangster drug lords become rich? Okay? Why do mafia guys become rich? If karma is correct, they shouldn't get rich, but they do. Some of them. So then I said, that's called bird poop. And they said, well, what's bird poop? And I said, well, there's a tree that comes from China. It's called mulberry. And you need it because silkworms only eat mulberry leaves. So to make silk, you need silkworms. To make silkworms, you gotta have mulberry leaves. That's the only thing they like to eat. They're more picky than me. Okay? And somebody brought it to Arizona. For many years it was secret. In ancient China, it was a death penalty if you told someone about mulberry trees. And the first mulberry seeds were carried out of China in the hat of a noble woman who wanted to share them. And she hid them in her hat. And so anyway, they grow all over Arizona. They grew in my school when I was a little kid, and we used to climb them. And they're nice because they don't need much water. And the birds like them because they make a little berry, mulberry, purple berry. So anyway, I always wanted a mulberry tree. But my gardener partner said, I don't like mulberry trees. They make mess on the ground. You know. Then one day I went out, I was working in the garden, and there was a plant about this high, you know. And I'm like, I asked my V, I said, what is that? And she said, she said, oh my God, that's a mulberry tree. She said, "Did you plant that?" I said, No, I didn't do anything. I don't even know what it is." She said, "It must be a bird poop mulberry tree. Because they eat the mulberries, and they're in a rush, like someone trying to get to meditation class, and they don't digest the berries, and they poop the seeds, and then the seeds have nice poop fertilizer around them, and they grow pretty fast, okay? So I always bragging about my good karma that a bird pooped mulberry tree in my front yard. But then V said, "I don't want it in the front yard." Said, "You have to move it." I'm like, okay. So I dug it up. While I was digging it up, I split the taproot, which is going to kill it. She said, "It can't grow. Now it will die." I said, "But can I plant it anywhere in the backyard?" She said, "Okay, you can plant it, but it's going to die." Then I planted it, and it grew. It's about 3 meters high now. And but then the gophers came. And these are little like rats, and they live under the ground, and they eat the roots. So now, I don't know. So the bad news for my bird poop tree friends, I went out to work on the tree, and I touched it, and it went woo. And like, oh, there's no foundation, you know. That's what your life is like if you don't take refuge properly. Okay, you grab the tree and it goes. It just went like this. Then I shake it and the roots are gone. All the roots are gone. You know, this animal ate them. So I asked her, "Do I have to pull it out?" She said, "Really, you should pull it out." And I said, "Can I just try?" So you have to pray for my mulberry tree. Okay, I'm still going. It's still going. It's trying to put a leaf out. What it means is you need a foundation, okay? Without those roots, forget it. Everything else is fake. It looks strong, and when you touch it, it goes whoop. You know, you get a little problem in your life, and your practice collapses, you know, because the roots aren't good, okay? It's like, it was really disappointing. I touched it and it went, and then I pulled it and it went, and I'm like, and your practice will be like that if you don't know about refuge. If you don't take good refuge, your practice will be no foundation, okay? And you will collapse the first time you have a problem, okay? And wah, okay? Your practice will be like that. Also yoga, stuff like that, okay? All right, then. What time is it? Let's do one more meditation, then take a pee-pee break, okay? All right. We'll do number 11. So get ready to meditate. Oh, by the way, so that's how mafia guys get rich. They gave some money to their nephew 10 years ago. They did one nice thing. Then they killed 20 people. But the gift of some money to their nephew made them rich. And it will always go away. It will always collapse. Okay? All right. Mafia guys' wealth is bird poop seeds. Accident. Okay. So please come to your breath. You can check in with the Lama in your heart. You don't have to do the full preliminaries every session. You can do it once in the morning, and then in the following sessions on the same day you can just check in with your Lama, sitting in a grain of a grain of sugar in your heart, like a clear crystal globe. And bring your mind to the center, to your breath. Let go of the outside world, let go of the things happening everywhere in your life. These 3 days are your days. Let go of all the other things you're doing, and you will find that you do them better afterwards. Come to your breath. Then I'd like you to think about some pretty serious mistakes you've made in your life. Maybe before you knew about karma. And those are kind of like time bombs. Those seeds didn't come back to us yet, many of them. And some of those actions were pretty serious. I was involved in an abortion. I can think of that kind of when I was in college. So I can think of time bombs waiting for me. Some very heavy negative karmas are waiting inside of me, and at some point they will blow up, and I'll get some very serious problems. So this meditation the first part is a little bit difficult. We have to try to think of people that we really hurt, or mistakes like that we made, mostly that. So we'll take a few minutes, try to think of 1 or 2 grand mistakes you've made in your life. then think about the few things you're doing nowadays where you are taking good refuge. You are using the 4 steps. You are trying to make things happen by helping other people. It doesn't have to be a big thing. Maybe you are helping a friend with a relationship problem. Or maybe you're helping someone financially. But you are taking baby steps to deal with problems and to reach goals by serving someone else. So think of 2 or 3 things you're doing which are using seeds, which are serving others to reach your goals. And that's taking refuge. Think of the times you are taking refuge. The third and last part of this meditation is to just spend a few minutes appreciating that the baby steps you are taking to solve problems or reach goals by serving others, planting seeds, actually damage the old bad seeds. So, understanding where things come from, reaching goals by planting seeds, by serving other people, helping them reach their goals. The power of those baby steps, small baby steps, is very, very powerful. And the Lam Rim says it will block or destroy even very old, powerful bad seeds. So try to draw a mental connection between the small good things you're doing now, with understanding, seeds, taking refuge, and draw a line in your mind back to those big mistakes you made many years ago, in my case, 45 years ago, and appreciate that that new way of life is damaging and disabling the old bad seeds. And you are protecting yourself from those time bombs. Draw that line in your mind. Make that connection. Then watch three deep exhales. Don't move yet, don't open your eyes yet. Check in with your Lama in your heart. And then open your eyes. Okay, take a stretch. So the picture, which you can memorize, right? Just memorize the pictures, and then you can figure out what they're supposed to be about. Okay. What's the picture? Oh, sorry, he has it up there. Yeah, like he's protecting himself from time bombs that he laid 10 years ago, 5 years ago. Okay, he's got an umbrella. Okay, so that's why we put the lady with the umbrella on your schedule, for example. Okay, so you are protecting yourself not only from future problems, but you can protect yourself from past bad seeds that you planted. Okay, Refuge has this beautiful ability. We talked about it in the Wheel of Life. The second link of the wheel is, what's the picture? Yeah, a guy making powder. And by the way, I was reading an interesting commentary, I think Vasubandhu. He said the fact that it's a wheel is important, that the potter's using a wheel. But those are seeds that you haven't put in the ground yet. They're not, they might not grow if they never get the necessary water and fertilizer, okay? Then link number 10. There's 2 links of the 12 which are karma. What's link number 10? Pregnant woman, okay? It means the seed is ready to open, okay? And then there's a long discussion of what takes a seed from number 2 to number 10. What is it? Why didn't they just make one link in the wheel, which was karma? Why do they have 2? Because the first one is karma that's, actually it's planted but it hasn't ripened. And then 10 it has ripened, and the baby's gonna come out, okay? So something happens. Also underground, right? It's kind of a miracle. It's very, exciting when you're a gardener. You plant some watermelon seeds, you cover them, you put water, you give it biochar, fertilizer, and then something happens down there. Like little guys are running around in the seed, like the water wakes them up, and they're like, oh, we gotta get this thing going, Like some miracle happens when the water touches the seed, which it never does, right? And, something triggers that. Something triggers the seed, okay? And it's not understanding seeds that takes the seed from 2 to 10. Link 2 to link 10. So if you understand seeds and you use them, it damages your old bad seeds. Got it? They don't get the energy which takes them from just planted to ready to open. They never get the water or the nutrients that wake up the little guys in the seed. Got it? So just the habit of getting things in your life by helping others to get them destroys the power of your old bad seed. See? So you killed 2 birds with 1 stone? Bad example. You plant good seeds for your success, but by doing that, by understanding seeds, you destroy the old ones, or you deactivate them. Okay? Got it? So when you take refuge, you're protecting yourself from old mistakes you made. And you don't have to worry about them. They will never open. They are planted, but they will never open. Somebody said, I don't like running around with 1 billion bad seeds in my head, Geshe-la, that are never going to open. I said, well, they don't take up much space. They say on the tip of a needle you can put 1 billion seeds. So, okay, no problem. There's a kind of some plants will, if something invades them, they will grow a cyst around the... Cyst means like a hard coating around the problem, and then the plant will grow fine. You see what I mean? So what you're doing, you're putting those bad seeds, you're coating them with like steel or something, and they will never grow. They will sit there forever, frustrated that they couldn't grow, you know, and you will never get the problem you were supposed to have. Okay, got it? That's a cool meditation if you're working nowadays on obstacles. If you're having obstacles to a relationship, or your finances, or your health, do number 11. Okay, work on number 11. Okay, got it? All right. Okay, we'll start. Okay. That side is okay. I like it when you make noise because it means you're having fun. So don't worry. Or else you're yelling at each other. I don't know. We're gonna do one more meditation. Okay, you ready? You want up here? You can hear my stomach making noise. I recorded with Amazon. I recorded some of my books, and you go to a special room. It's on springs, and there's a window, and the guy sits with the book, and you sit with the book, and he stares at you. And if you say the slightest thing wrong, he says, "Stop, start again." And then this guy came in with a big pillow, a lady actually, and she says, "I'm ready for you." And I'm like, "What?" And she tied it on my stomach. And she said, "We always tie a pillow on your stomach when you're recording an audio book, because your stomach makes noise." So if you put the iPhone here, you can get the full Geshe Michael. Okay, here we go. Relax your eyelids. Relax your mouth. Shoulders are maybe still a little bit tight. Check your shoulders. Especially if you did words class yesterday. Just slightly tense your stomach. This meditation, which is number 11, I think, in this one we do the opposite from what we did last time. So I'd like you to go back in your life, even very far when you were very young. And what are the seeds that you are most proud of? You know, when did you do the really kind things for someone else, took care of someone who was very sick, or served poor, like our New York Sangha doing. What are the moments when you really sacrificed what you wanted and served someone else? Take a few minutes and think about the highlights of your spiritual life. Now again, please think about the small baby steps you are taking in nowadays to achieve your goals or solve your problems by using seeds. The 4 steps to plant good seeds and the 4 powers to stop old ones. Think about the progress you're making, the evolution in this new view of what makes things work. And then finally draw this connection again. Those good things you did, many of them were long before you really understood about seeds. Those old good seeds are waiting in your mind to grow. And they are watered, they are woken up by all the attempts you make nowadays to use the 4 steps, to use seeds, which is taking refuge. So try to appreciate and draw a mental connection between the attempts you are making nowadays to plant seeds and the very huge old good seeds that you planted, which have been multiplying ever since then. And if you can, in your 3-day retreat and in your meditations, if you can strengthen that mental connection between your practices nowadays and good seeds you planted long ago that have been building up lots of interest, then it will trigger those seeds and cause them to flower in your life in the coming weeks and months. And you'll see a very sharp increase in beautiful things in your life. So draw that connection. And then try to imagine how those seeds might open. If you, I don't know, helped someone financially, try to imagine how your life will become very stable and you'll have enough to do the things you want to do to help other people. And if it was that you served someone who was elderly or sick, you can look forward to some very good health, strong health for many years. And if it's that you help someone with their relationship, that you can look forward to a very beautiful relationship with your partner, your family, friends. Because you triggered them, you watered them by taking refuge and using these principles of seeds. And refusing to do things that don't really work. 3 deep exhales. And then you can slowly open your eyes. Take a stretch. Okay, I'm going to do some scripture, Lamrim. Oh yeah, okay. Okay. I'll remind you where we left off yesterday. It's kind of technical and I apologize, but when you get there you'll appreciate it. We were talking about the first of the 5 paths, which is called path of accumulation or piling up good karma. Okay, Tsoklam. And it has 3 parts called Chungu Ding Chambo, lesser, medium, and greater. And those 3 parts connect to different qualities of a Buddha eventually, okay? So there are versions of qualities of a Buddha that you master early on. Somebody asked me yesterday the 4 recollections, right? The 4 awarenesses. How come you're already using the pen if you just started the first path? During the first path, you are getting some teachings about the pen, but not the full thing. Okay, preliminary emptiness teachings. Okay. And then when we got to the greater part of the first path, I said I wasn't happy with the... I went and got you some stuff to explain it and I didn't like it. It wasn't complete. So this morning I got it, okay? So I'll explain it to you. It's a little complicated. And you'll see why, okay? Let me see. They are the full name, okay? Okay, this is complicated, just don't worry about it. It's called Pongwe Duche Dan Dembe Zutuki Kangba, okay? Pongwe Duche Dan Dembe Zutuki Kangba, okay? It's a long name. I'll give you the meaning of the name, and then you'll see why I had to look it up. Pongwa means to give up something. Duche means a factor or a cause or a trigger. Demba means to possess. Zutu means miracles. Kangba means somebody's feet or legs. Okay? You ready? The miracle legs of those who possess the factors which can eliminate. Okay, it doesn't mean anything. Okay? So I went and got a good explanation. And I looked through 1,000,000 pages of scripture because we have a database. And that database is because of people like John Brady, Nick Lashaw, and Adam Andrade, and I think you should thank them. Yeah. We were in India in what month? February? Giving DCI talks, and we had a guest with us from Singapore, and they came with us to see the people working on the ancient books, and they got all excited. Candy got excited, and those people have been working for 30 years. This is the 31st year they are working. Some of them have been working the whole time. The project is 31 years old. And they never had health insurance. And so I'd like to thank Candy's taking care of that. And thank you for that. So she's doing a lot of stuff like that. Thank you for that. She just squeezes people and money comes out. I don't know how she does it. You have to teach me. Okay, so I don't feel comfortable if I don't explain something which is in the book. Okay, I didn't want to do it. He mentioned it. Okay, then I don't know if the Chinese has a footnote, or I don't know, to explain the last three groups, for example. Does it, Stanley? I don't think so. It's complicated. Most people won't want to go there. Okay. Okay, that's unusual. Those are difficult. Okay, good. All right, so anyway, here's about the 4 miracle legs. Okay, the word leg means you're collecting karma which supports the ability to do miracles, okay? So we're going to see that again, I think this afternoon. In Buddhism, sometimes you'll say, this guy has good legs. It doesn't mean pretty. It means good foundation in morality or something. So they're standing on strong foundation. They say good legs, okay? Sometimes they call Buddha the guy with good legs, okay? Or the lady with good legs. So that's why they call it the 4 legs, okay? And they are kinds of shamatha, okay? They are kinds of deep meditation, okay? These 4 are kinds of deep meditation. And I'm going to give you an explanation by... it just happens to be that the best explanation in 1,000,000 pages is from the textbook writer from a monastery called Sarame. I don't know why. Okay. Okay. The first one is called the miracle leg of aspiration. Okay. Hoping to reach high goals. Okay. And it's a kind of one-pointed mind meditation, deep meditation. And its function is to work against the 5 obstacles to meditation. I'll give you the first one, you give me the rest. Lay low. Okay, I don't feel like meditating today. I'll meditate tomorrow. That's the first obstacle to meditation. What's the second one? Not yet. Yeah, Jenge, it's called forgetting. It means losing the object. It doesn't mean forget, okay? It doesn't mean I can't remember what my Lama told me to meditate about. It doesn't mean that. Are you warm? You want to freeze? Okay. So the word is to forget the object, but the meaning is you start thinking about a hamburger. When your Lama's face in the meditation slowly changes into a Big Mac. You know? Okay. That's the second one. Third one?
Agitation. Dullness and agitation.
Yeah, dullness and agitation together, okay? The mind gets too high or the mind gets too low. Then number 4? Yeah, you don't take action. You forget. If your mind goes low, you don't think of something cool to bring your mind up. If your mind's too high, you don't think of death, which will bring it down. Okay? What's the fifth problem? Taking action. When leave it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. If it's not broken, don't fix it. If the meditation's going smooth, leave it alone. Okay? Don't keep checking. Okay? So the first of the 4 miracle legs is a meditation where you're able to stop those 5 problems. Okay? Okay. Second one is a kind of one-pointed meditation where you have extremely good effort. You're able to hang in there when things are tough, and you break through obstacles in your meditation. You hang in there, and you work hard. It's hard work in meditation. That's the miracle leg number 2. Okay, miracle leg number 3. It's called 3 different names in scripture. I think only one of them is correct. Sempa, which means to think, okay? The definition of karma is semba. Semba yiki leyeno. Mental karma is thinking. Okay? So semba means thinking. Sem means mind. Sempa means thinking. Okay? So the third miracle leg is called thinking. Okay? But it has a specific meaning, and it means to build on your meditation ability each time you meditate. So based on the success you had last year at Diamond Mountain in your 3-day retreat, you work again this year and you keep building on and your meditation gets better and better. You keep coming back to Diamond Mountain, to see the Mr. and Mrs. Dunn, and your meditation gets stronger each time you come back. That's the meaning of number 3. It's called thinking, but what it means is building on on the meditation you did before. Okay? And if you don't meditate regularly, it doesn't happen. Okay? But if you do meditate regularly, even though you may have bad days, it builds on each other. And a year later, you're much better. Okay? Okay, the fourth one it's called meditation where you act correctly. Okay, it's called meditation where you act correctly. Act correctly means you can think about the emptiness of things correctly. Okay, you start to analyze things, and that has 8 qualities. Okay. So when you explain the 4 legs, you have to talk about the 5 problems. We finished that already. That was in the first leg. And when you get to the 4th leg, you have to talk about the 8 good things that are triggers for giving up things. Okay, so now we got that. That word was part of the name, right, of the 4. They were called miracle legs, which help you to give up, which are triggers that help you to give up negative things. Okay, so it comes in the 4th one. Okay, that's why I was having trouble yesterday. All right, I found a lazy author who just gave it that long name, and I didn't know what the heck he's talking about. Okay, now I found a Saramay Lama. He's from 1500s. Okay, and he says, you want to know the 8? Okay, he gives them. Okay, he's very thorough. You will recognize the first 4. Dumba Tsowa Depa Shinjang. Anybody? Trigger anything for anybody? Dumba Tsowa Depa Shinjang. Those are the 4 antidotes to the first meditation problem. They're famous. That's why there's more antidotes than problems in the study of meditation. If you took DCI level 3, you should know this. Right? 8 antidotes, 5 problems. Because there's 3 extra antidotes for the first one. Okay? I like to call it the high school girlfriend. Okay? In the discussion of the first meditation problem, and the 4 antidotes to it, I like to talk about the high school girlfriend. Okay, why? First one, Dumba, and I can remember this. I can remember every day I had to leave one class. The school decided I could write the school constitution instead of going to class one class a day. So I would go to the cafeteria and write. And then I'd always pass this classroom, and there was a really pretty girl inside, and I just like run into doors and stuff. So I was just thinking, I'd like to take her out or something. That's called Dumba. That's the first meditation correction. What's the first meditation problem? Yeah, no, it's not really laziness. It's like I don't feel like doing it today. I'll do it tomorrow. You can say the first meditation obstacle is, I'll do it tomorrow. For sure, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll start my diet tomorrow. For sure. I'll do yoga tomorrow. Today I'm just a little tired. Okay? I just don't feel that good today. Okay? So the first correction is to want it. I want it. It's like the girlfriend, She's not the girlfriend, right? Yet. You just look into the window and you're like, I want that, Okay, so think of that, or a boyfriend, okay, in high school. It's like, I want that. That looks nice. Okay, what? The ability to meditate well. That looks cool. I would like that. Okay, it's like some kind of attraction. Okay, I want that. Okay, that's number one. Then tsulwa. Tsulwa means move your ass. Do something. Okay. Tsulwa is similar to tsundru. Okay. Do something. In my case, I did the classic thing at Washington High School in Arizona. You hang out near her locker. And then when she's coming around the corner, you bump into her and drop her books. And then, you pick up her books and then you talk to her. You say, I'm so sorry, what's your name? Are you busy on Friday? Okay. Actually, he has them out of order. I'm sorry. I have to change it, okay? Dumba, he has them out of order. The first one is Dumba, which is I like it, okay? The second one is Dempa, which is faith, which is, I believe it will help me, okay? I believe in it, okay? Dempa. Shraddha. What they call Guruji's nephew, Sharad. It's a corruption of Shraddha, okay? Jiva Mukti, Sripata Joyce's. The person in charge now, his name is corrupted from Shraddha. So the second one is Depa, which means you see the good qualities in it. You're always counting her good qualities, okay? So Dumba means you like her. Depa, Dumba, well, it's totally out of order. I'm sorry. Depa means you like it, faith, and you would, sorry, can we start again? Depa, Dumba, Tsuwa, he got them way out of order, sorry. Okay, Depa first. Depa means in meditation, you understand the good qualities of meditation. You have faith that this can help me, okay? That's first. I'm sorry, so cancel everything. He's got them out of order, I apologize. Depa is the first one, and that's where if somebody says, what's cool about her, you can make a list. Okay, it's what kind of meditation? Shargom. Oh, you want to know what's cool? She looks nice, she's got a good car, okay, you can make a list. She had a good car. So those are you can make a list. That's first, okay? Sorry, let's start again. Depa. And it's called faith, but it's not really faith, it's just, I can tell you 5 good things about meditation. Or I can tell you 5 cool things about this girl, okay? Depa. Dumba means I would like to take her out. I want that. Okay, that's the second one. He's got them out of order. Depa, Dumba. then tsulwa, then drop her books. Do something. Okay? Move. Okay? Tsulwa. To get meditation. Okay? And then Shinjang is what? Yeah, Shinjang means you got good at it. You took her out 3-4 times. You know how to get her to kiss you. You know, everything's going good. Okay? So Shinjang means you get good at it. Because you do it a few times. Okay? You did it enough times that you get good at it. Shinjang is divided into 2. What are those? Shinjang is divided into 2. Physical and mental. Okay? Your body gets used to meditation posture. And your mind gets used to meditating. Okay? So those are the first 4 of the 8. Got it? You know these 4 because you studied DCI level 3. Okay. And those are all going to overcome those 4 together fight Lelo. And that's why there's 8 antidotes and only 5 problems, because there's 3 extra in the first one. Okay? No problem? Okay. Then he says Chemba. What's Chemba? Recollection. Shishin? No, he's got it reversed again. I don't know why he's doing that. They should go Shishin first and then Demba. Okay, what's Shishin in meditation? It's the fire alarm. Do we have fire alarm? It's the thing in your mind that goes beep, 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 okay? When you're meditating. And suddenly you realize your lama's face turned into hamburger. You know, you're meditating on lunch. You're thinking about what you're going to have for lunch. And slowly, without noticing it, your sweet lama's face turned into a hamburger. And you've been meditating on hamburger for like 3 minutes, 4 minutes. And then part of your mind should go beep, beep, beep. And you're like, what's wrong? He said, did you look at what you're meditating on? Oh, it's a hamburger. Yeah. Then Jemba comes in. It pulls your mind back to the lama's face. Okay? It says, forget the hamburger for a while. Pull the lama back. Because that's Jemba. Okay? Bringing the object back to the mind. Okay? Then he's got Semba, and he doesn't explain it. Semba means thinking. Probably it's continued thinking about the object. And then Tangyom means attitude of equanimity about the object. You know, you don't feel hatred and you don't feel desire. You enjoy it, but you wouldn't hurt someone to get it. Okay? That's called equanimity. Okay? Okay, those are the 4 miracle legs. Okay? More than you wanted to know. But I like to be thorough. Okay. And that's the only place you can get a good explanation of it. I didn't find anything else in all the Tibetan literature. Yeah.
I don't have the 8. I've got the first 4.
Oh, the last 4. Now you're going to make me work. Recollection, watchfulness, thinking, and equanimity. And those 8 together are the 4th leg. What thinking about he doesn't say. Nobody says. Huh? Tangyom. If you're interested, we could go into the word Tangyom. There's 3 classic meanings. Just briefly, although it's not the subject today, it can mean equanimity between hatred and desire. It can mean karma, which is neutral. And it can mean a kind of meditation. Okay. All right. Okay, here we go. We're back to the scripture. Why did we talk about all that? We were talking about the first path. Why were we talking about that? We were talking about somebody on the first track. Lowest motivation, lowest path. Minimum Buddhist. Okay, minimum Buddhist. So according to that idea, what do you have to be a Buddhist? You have to be on the first path. How do you get there? You have a personal disaster, okay? Your mom has to die in your arms, your brother has to commit suicide, something like that, okay? And I have a very interesting list of all my close friends. What was it that got them to Buddhism? And it's kind of an unbelievable list, okay? Okay. Yeah.
And we're talking about this because we're talking about taking refuge in the Sangha.
Exactly.
And this is the lowest of
Yeah.
5.
And he's going to expand on it and tell you, this is minimum Sangha, but look at all these other cool Sanghas. Okay, they're good point. So now we know where we are. He's talking about Sangha Jewel, minimum person. What's the motivation of a listener track? Yeah, basically I just want to get to Nirvana. I don't really care about the whole world. I don't want to be unhappy. Okay, Drachanda Topna, but if that person achieves Arhat, they get much more cool qualities. Suk Mambong Nyungur Chepa Dang, they can take many outside objects, like I have here only 5 things to drink this morning. And you can, an Arhat can go like this, and they all become a little drop in their palm, and they can drink it and they get 5 drinks, okay? They have this power to take multiple outside objects and turn it into one tiny thing, okay? Like that. Separ Sachu Melung Namke Tingen Zinki Gone Tu Gyur Mambo Tumba. Okay. This is another very, very difficult subject. I don't like it. Because when I did my pre-Geshe exam somebody asked me this question and I didn't know the answer. And it was very embarrassing. So I don't like this subject. But just for you, I went and boned up on it. So there's called Separ Kikeche. Say Separ Kikeche. The thing which triggers many things to the end. Okay, it's a Buddhist concept. Okay, the thing which triggers many things to the end. It's a Buddhist concept. There are 10 different ones. For example, the 4 primary colors, which Adam can tell us easily because he translated it. Yeah, yellow.
Red, white.
Yeah, whatever. Okay. Anyway, so the 4 primary colors are 4 of them. The 4 main elements are 4 of them. Sa, Chu, Me, Lung. What's that?
Fire,
Earth.
yeah.
Sa, Chu, earth, water, fire, wind. Okay. And then there's one called Namka, space, and I think there's consciousness. Okay. So these 10. And what it refers to is the ability to change those things in an object. Okay? So like if I have power over the earth element, I can make this metal melt just with my meditation. Okay? Or I can, if I have Separ Kitinginzen, I can turn water solid and I can walk across a lake. If I have that level of prayer or that level of concentration. So we believe what Jesus did is real. It's Separ Kitinginzen. There's a word for it. He turned the water element into earth and he walked across a lake. Okay? Or I saw it in some other movie, Hidden Tiger, Crouching Tiger, whatever. Somebody runs across a lake. Okay? We believe it's real. We believe it's possible. If you have a high meditation, you can adjust the elements in an object, okay? Or colors. Which basically means you can make a cell phone turn into a watermelon. Okay? Jigme, I need more watermelons. Where are you? Okay, don't forget. You can turn things into other things, okay? Now, why is it called to the end? It means anything, okay? But it's a very confusing word in Buddhism, okay? So anyway, it's a meditation that allows you to emanate objects, you know. You can make an elephant appear in the room, or real one. You can change water into solid, you can run across it, like that, okay? You can climb into the sky, like that, okay? Why is he talking about all this? He wants to show how cool the Sangha is. How cool is the Sangha? Okay. Okay, Gone Tugur Mangbo, you can emanate anything you want. Dulja Kang Yosar Shakpa Sok, you can travel through the sky to teach students in different countries without an airplane, without United Airlines. I'm embarrassed to say my airline is United, but they already started acting better. It was pretty bad. All these are good qualities of an arhat on the lower chart, on the lowest chart, listener chart, okay? I think Shariputra was considered in Modgalayana, they were considered lower arhats, okay? Bhaktimepa, good qualities, inconceivable. Tumba Deje, after the Lord Buddha passed, Gawa Mutepa Tulne Shaktun Kiringla, his student named Nanda, who we're going to hear from if you go to Indonesia. So we have a program August 23, 24 at a place called Borobudur in Indonesia. And it's basically it's a mountain that was carved into a mandala, a very high mountain. And the whole mountain was carved into a mandala. And it has 2,500 panels about the size of this wall of the story of all the Buddha's deeds and all the Bodhisattvas' deeds. So we're going to go there August 23rd, 24th, and I'm going to teach some of the panels that relate to how the Wheel of Life was first painted, okay? So if you have time, talk to Jenny, okay? And you're welcome to come. Anyway, that's just one story of how the Wheel of Life was painted, and there are two other stories. And this monk named Nanda, it was involved in the second story. Okay, and the third story is about a very beautiful lady who complained about the lack of women's rights in Buddhism during the Buddha's time, and that led to the third painting of the Wheel of Life. So it's a beautiful story, very powerful story. But you have to come to Indonesia or you don't get to hear it. Okay, Gawa Mute Patune. So this, after the Buddha passed away, Nanda defeated some other scholars in debate, okay? And he taught for 7 days, Shaktun, and he got 80,000 people to see emptiness directly. Okay? In 7 days of teaching, he got 80,000 people saw emptiness directly. Okay? And he's lowest level, arhat. Got it? He's lowest level, arhat. So, the Sangha must be pretty cool. That's the idea he wants to say about that. I like this story, and I think we have time to tell it? No, we don't. We could cut yoga shorter. Let's tell a story, what the heck. So there was, I believe he's a Hinayana arhat named Upagupta. In Tibetan it's called Nyerbe. Okay, Upagupta. He was teaching. Now I'll teach you the Lamrim version, and then I'll teach you the real story, okay, from the sutra. Okay, so here's the Lamrim version. Che Sungkap, he was teaching Dharma. Du Dikto Chen, by the way, Dikto is a very weird word that means evil. So there was an evil demon, and he wanted to interrupt the teaching. So he caused a rain of food, like, I don't know, French fries. And then people in the audience stopped listening and they started catching the French fries. You know? Then when they got tired of that, he started dropping money. And they were like, oh, and they stopped listening to Upagutta, you know. And then after a while, people started to listen again. So he'd emanate as a beautiful girl dancing. And Parkbe Medo Gitama, then he didn't like it. He got irritated with the demon. He was an Arya. So he took a flower garland and he put it over her head. And suddenly she looked very ugly. You know, like a demon or something. She showed her true form. And then everyone started listening to the Dharma. Everyone started to listen, okay? They're just showing the power of even a Hinayana Arya, okay? Now you want to hear the real story? So it's in a sutra that Nick was teaching in Guadalajara, I think, which is called? Yeah, it's called the Sutra of Wise and the Fools. Some are wise men and some are fools, but I need a little something. There's a song. Okay, it's called the Sutra of Stupid People and Smart People. Okay, Dozang Lung. All right, here it goes. Uptagupani Chirmandopa Debu Topo. He achieved, now they make it clear, he achieved non-returner, which means almost arhat. He doesn't have to come back to the desire realm. Dene yashe ki kinda de la shunun langne raptu yungo. From a young age, he left the home life. Kimdaki kyang deshin du pune tsulakang du chide, and his parents gave him to the monastery. Chimju popo, he started taking layman's vows. Re dene lo nishud sowana, when he reached 20 years old, he was allowed to take vows, take monks. You're not allowed to take full vows until you're 20. Nyamba Dzogso, he took full vows. Nyamba Dzogte Suwa Danshi Leki Nyamba Dzoba Dachomba Gyurto. And then after that, he became a arhat. Okay. Rikpa Sumdang Number Shepa Dutan Dende, he understood the 3 knowledges and the 6 kinds of clairvoyance. Mawala Popa Semi Shepa Gyur. He became a consummate teacher, Dharma teacher. Ne mi mambo dute chutembache, and many people would come to his teachings. They say du dikto chenki kormamba nang du serki zongse dongse charshin du pape. Then this demon got irritated that he was having such big classes, and he dropped money on the audience. Okay, and everyone stopped listening and tried to grab the money. Okay. The next day he was teaching again. He was teaching. Dikto Chengi, and then the demon dropped flower garlands from the sky. Char Pape Kungi Sem Trukso. Everyone got distracted by these beautiful flowers. They say Chinyin Kormamba Dute Chitamba Chepa Le. Next day he was teaching again. Duki Gyabo Lamboche Tun Tinkat Katan Kane. The demon emanated as the king of elephants in a dark blue color. Okay? Chewa Druk with 6 tusks. Okay? Chewa Reliliang Zingbureri. He's so big that each tusk has a lake on the end of it. Okay? A whole lake. On the end of the tusk, there's a whole garden. He's so huge that there's a garden on the end of the tusk, okay? And a lake, okay? Each lake has 7 lotuses, huge lotus is growing in it. Okay. Metoreri nana shelki pumo dun dun. And each lotus has a woman made of crystal dancing. Okay? Did I say 1? 7. 7 crystal ladies dancing in each flower, on each lake, on each tusk of this elephant. That's more distracting. Okay? Pumo deda kyang soso ne rumo chete. Each one was doing a beautiful dance. Lambo che komba delki kor. And even the elephant was going like this. Then everybody just wants to watch the elephant and the dancing lady. Then next day he was teaching again. Chepale duki gyabal ne nachung samo shintu tse shing samash korkin on the opportunity. Then that demon emanated a single very beautiful woman who walked through the teaching and distracted everybody, especially the boys. Chitendo Korshiki Nanda Ongna Chune Mikuna de Mikmi Zumbata. Mikmi Zumba means they couldn't stop, they couldn't even blink. They're like that, Mikzumbata. Chinyamba Jedo, they forgot to listen to the Dharma. Dema talked to. Then the Arya, he went like this or something. And she changed to her skeleton. Then everybody's like, ew. Then they start to think about death, and then they said, please teach, please teach. Okay, end of story. Okay, that's the real story. He showed her skeleton. He made her look at her skull, and everybody forgot how beautiful she was. Okay, all right.